folks. Well, you know who I am. I'm Piano Man Steve Lungrin, founder of learningmusicisfun.com, and also singer-songwriter. Anyway, I didn't come here to tell you who I am because most of you watching this already know. I was just playing a little ditty from my song Live Fearlessly, which is on my new album, which was going to be called Live Fearlessly, and ended up being called Beat Up Old Piano. This is it right here. Beat Up Old Piano. Anyway, and that's a story I will tell in another video, why the shift got made. But I wanted to check in with you and say hello. And in a way, I wanted to do two things. One, I wanted to let you know that I'm back. Not that I was ever really gone, but I'm going to be back on YouTube more regularly now for hopefully the foreseeable future. And I also wanted to offer a little bit of an explanation why I've been a little bit more sparse and not as available for the last couple of years. Essentially, what happened was between 2011 and 2014, I gave almost all of my energy to my piano lesson business, at least my professional energy. I did play gigs, and I did play some gigs out of town, but I played an awful lot in my hometown for the most part, and I just gave most of my energy, my creative energy, to the piano lesson business. And it went through something like 5 different websites, a couple of like 3 or 4 different business models. I mean, but we've landed on something that I think, as far as the layout of how I want to do it and what I'm going to try and teach, the kinds of content that I want to teach, I think is fairly evergreen now. And it's a way that I'm probably going to deliver it more or less for some time to come. I may have to change the website here and there and various other things like that, but I think this idea of a membership platform and sort of an a la carte buffet of videos is probably about where I'm going to be. And also, I want to teach people how to fish rather than to fish. That's not to say I won't continue to occasionally do some song tutorials on YouTube, but I don't want to get so bogged down teaching people individual songs that I never teach them the building blocks that I use to learn them in the first place. So that's one thing. I gave most of my creative energy in those years to that, and there are many other things that I'm interested in doing, and they had all been put on the back burner. So once that business got to kind of a self-sustaining place, I really put my focus on some other thing. Among them was that I wanted to raise my profile as a performer and start playing a little more on the road. And I've always wanted to be a recording artist. And I have not in the least bit given up on the idea of getting signed by a label, be it independent or major, and all of that. But I wanted to get started at the very least and just start recording regularly out of my own little studio here. So that's what this Beat Up Old Piano was about. I started this, the reason I'm filming this today is that it's been a year since I started this. To the day, I started sessions on August 31st, 2015 on this guy. And I thought I was going to turn the whole thing around in a little over 2 months. Well, that's not what happened. It took me about 10. But that's because as the project moved on, I ended up realizing that I had something better under my hands than what I could get done in 2 months, and it deserved the focus and the collaboration with other people. So that's kind of where that's at, and I am starting another one right now, which is going to be called Keep This Party Rolling. So plenty going on that front. What I want to tell you is I don't have any grand promises for how often I'm going to be on and uploading new stuff, but I am going to try to be more of a regular presence, because what I've discovered over the last 6 years or so is that I feel a little bit empty if I'm not giving any attention to all of the stuff that's really important to me. I've got to write songs. I've got to record songs. I've got to teach. I've got to perform. I've got to do YouTube videos. These are all things that I really enjoy doing. What I have found is it is difficult for me to do all of them well when I have to do everything, including all the minutia around it. For instance, the videography part of it and the editing and the uploading and all of that kind of stuff. That's very time consuming. If it were just about sitting down and playing and singing or teaching, my goodness, we'd have new videos up all the time. So, and the same thing was true. There's a whole lot of minutia that goes into making an album that I just can't handle it all on my own and do it well. And the same is true with performing. It's very time consuming. I love the time that I have on stage, but as a solo act, I've got... So what I'm going to be trying to do, and I'm already in the process in a number of ways, is finding collaborative partners that can take some of the burden, not the burden, but they can do some of the other stuff and do it much better than I can anyway, and allow me to focus on what I'm good at, and they can do the other part, and I think find a way for it to be mutually beneficial financially and otherwise. So I am kind of in the process right now of hopefully cutting a few deals to greatly improve the state of my video piano lessons and my YouTube presence, as well as I've already got a great team around me for recording, so I can't wait to do that again. But that's really the main thing, is I've just been busy doing other projects that I had put on the back burner for all those years, but I missed being a part of the community more. I missed engaging with people, and I just did not have time to do everything I wanted to do. So what now that I've kind of gotten everything off the ground and all these different plates that I'm trying to spin, I'm hoping that I'll be able to make good progress on all of them and just work on some of them all at the same time. I'm writing a book right now that'll be a companion to this album, and that's something I'll go into further detail in another video. But I'm going to be putting out some promotional videos for the album. I'm going to share those songs with you acoustically. A couple of them have already been put up on YouTube and in their recorded form. So, you know, you guys have heard a little bit about it. You can go to pianomansteve.com and get this CD, and I'll send you a signed copy if you order it right off of the homepage, basically, at pianomansteve.com. Or you can find it on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, Google Play. I believe those are the main platforms right now. If you look it up, it's just under my name, Steve Lungrin, Lungrin. Beat Up Old Piano, and that's just available digitally in those places. So, you know, if you want a copy of it, go check it out. But I will be sharing this music with you on YouTube in different ways, and I'm going to tell you some of the stories behind the songs and stories about the process of recording it. It was a lot of fun, and I'm going to shoot some videos and do a documentary of sorts like I did before on the process of making the next album. So we have a lot of things coming up, and I'm going to try and I want to redo a lot of the performance videos that I've put out in the past, just these piano performance videos that I do, but I want to do them with superior audio quality, which I'm not doing right now. I'm talking right into the camera on my microphone, but in the future when I do these, I'm going to actually run them through my system and sync the audio and video together, so that'll be nice. And as I said, I'm going to probably freshen up the video lessons as well at some point. So we've got a lot of work to do, and it's not going to get done quickly, so I'm just going to try and do pieces of it at a time as I can, try and feed each monster a little bit. But I've just had so many of you sending really nice messages to me saying, hey, where you been, man? Why aren't you on YouTube? And it's not like I've retired or quit or anything like that, and I've really missed doing it, but I just had to go and give of myself and some other things that matter a lot to me too. And that's why it happened, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to balance everything a little bit better. There will certainly be times when one project takes precedence for a little while again, but hopefully this nonsense where I'm gone for like 2 years or barely noticeable for 2 years, I don't want that to happen again. I would like to stay a little bit more active in what I'm doing, and it just requires some more support team around me. And luckily, my businesses have grown to the point where I think I will be able to attract some partners to do some of these things. So that's what's going on, and I just kind of wanted to bring you up to speed. I'm really excited about the work that I'm going to be doing next and all of the projects that I'm working on right now. And I'm so very happy with the music on Beat Up Old Piano. It turned out better than I could possibly have imagined a year ago today when I started working on it. And I am thrilled about what we're going to do with the music on the upcoming record. So there's just a lot of fun things happening here, and I hope with all my heart that it will lead to opportunities for me to really get out on the road and perform, and maybe come and see a lot of you in person somewhere at a club or at a small theater, or this could be a while before that actually happens, but that's where I want to. I want to be able to tour and come see you guys and play music for you in person. It's been a real honor to be a part of your musical experience if you use my lessons, and it has been a privilege to entertain you here on YouTube if all you do is watch my performance videos. It's really a kick, and I hope that it's not always something that only happens online. I hope that I'm able to get out and play for you for real. So I'm just going to play a little bit of a ditty here to close out. The song Beat Up Old Piano, I'll tell the full story on it, and I'm not even going to play the whole thing for you, but I'm going to play a little bit of this tune. It got written late, and when I wrote it, I realized that it needed to be the title track to this album that kind of became autobiographical. So more on that later, but this is something I'm really happy with, and it goes a little bit like this. So we go. House against the rec room wall is an old upright piano, dark brown and 5 feet tall. The wood was scratched, the keys were chipped, and it was old as sin. Who knew that old piano would one day be my best friend? My mom made me take lessons when I started 2nd grade. First I wasn't happy with the progress I had made, but 5 years later I looked up and I sounded like a band, and that beat up old piano became my greatest friend. That beat up old piano made me who I am today. It taught me how to write my songs and sing them while I play. It helped me make my journey from a boy into a man. That beat up old piano, it's still my best friend. God bless that beat up old piano, 'cause it's still my best friend. song is true. The piano has been my best friend, and even though this is not even a real piano, and it certainly isn't the beat up one that was in my parents' basement that I wrote that about, it has been music and this instrument have been my constant companion for a lot of years. And so I'm really looking forward to reconnecting with it in a special way with all of you in performance and in teaching. And can't wait to make the next record. It was so much fun to make this one. So look forward to hearing more about what's on this disc, seeing maybe a few more tutorials, a few more lessons coming your way, some more performance videos, and hopefully just a little bit more activity in general here, so that I don't appear to be behind the scenes so much, because I've missed you guys. I'll see you around, and remember, I still believe if you're not having fun when you're making music, you're doing it wrong.